Well, I thought that...
by the COVID explanation, not the stock.
No, I mean, the other thing was that seemed a little lame was that they said Latin America's weaker. I mean, it's kind of like they were a company, a regular company now. I mean, they're cash flow positive, by the way, where they basically just said they had a conference call that was like a typical conference call of many companies that we've dealt with, where they seem mystified, don't know exactly what's going to make things better. They obviously had some incredible product. It didn't seem to matter. They had the amazing Squid Games, didn't seem to matter. They had these 2 movies, didn't seem to matter. Nothing seemed to matter in terms of igniting things. Now, of course, they could be completely wrong and start having an acceleration, but they don't predict it. The margins were very, very disappointing. Estimate margin is all on the estimation.
This is all right. So the last quarter reported was a strong quarter. Without a doubt. It's all about the guidance.
Right. So the risk you have here is that because the excuses seem to be so extraneous, that maybe things are going to be better. Now, I know that I'm not telling people to go buy Netflix, but I am saying that I don't think that basing everything on their estimation has been historically a great way to invest.
Mm-hmm. We've got any number of downgrades this morning.
Yeah,
in fact, I think we even brought back the old penguins that I used to use 25 years ago to show the analysts. Adding absolutely no value, of course.
Well, here's the Netflix.
After the fact, there they are.
Here I got the
running
Netflix.
Off the. We got Morgan Stanley. I don't know what you got. I got Stiefel. They're in the water. We used to have that great music that we used to play.
What are you doing? You picking on them? Hey, Benchmark had to sell
on you. I'm picking on the analysts.
No, Benchmark had to sell the bold. I mean, Baird, Barclays, Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse.
Okay, they're running off the iceberg.
But I've got
jumping in the water.
I got those if you want these, this is a very interesting Netflix previews about how everybody was pretty bullish.
Yeah.
But look, a lot of people felt, David.
Listen, Morgan Stanley, Jim, here it is. I mean, engagement is growing. Churn is declining. And Netflix clearly has pricing power, as evidenced by that recent 10% U.S. price increase. However, bringing that incremental new member to the service is proving more challenging than we anticipated.
We're all used to the conference call, calm, just basically saying, look, our real competition isn't the other guys.
It's just
competition is time.
Yeah.
Well, now this one was our real competition is the other guys. Well, we weren't ready for that narrative, and that's one of the reasons why the stock's down so much. The other reason being that that it doesn't seem like that new content ignites people. They're necessarily not endangered species.
No.
Maybe we should have
originally 25 plus years ago when I had this idea, and analysts were,
well, I think
we were so ridiculous. It was lemmings, but we couldn't find lemmings, so we found the penguins. But it's not as good without the music. So
the music
we revisited it. Now we can put it away.
The music was so great.
The music was great.
Yeah, loggerhead turtles really have a mass thing too. But I find, David, rather than just capitulate on the entire market.
Yes.
I want to just go back to say, what a terrible day to have a Peloton memo, the ultimate, of course, pandemic stock, coming at the same time as Netflix, the ultimate pandemic stock. I mean, obviously now we're waiting for Zoom and DocuSign. And,
we are.
It's just kind of a coda to the pandemic. Just when, by the way, I don't know if you caught Dr. Gottlieb.
Yeah.
Basically, listen, by this time, 50% of people have this thing in a couple of weeks.
Right. I mean, he's talking about the Midwest now, but obviously where we are, things have quieted. I want to move on to Peloton shortly, but not yet. I want to come back to Netflix because I want to keep an eye on shares of Disney, and I want to keep an eye on shares of Discovery, soon to be Warner Discovery, and obviously very much focused on their direct-to-consumer in both Discovery Plus and HBO Max. I want to focus on Viacom and Paramount Plus.
Well,
these companies have centered their growth potential and their investment cases around their ability to continue to acquire substantial numbers of subscribers for their direct-to-consumer businesses, Jim.
True.
Does the Netflix quarter make one wonder about how large this market really can be, the competition within it, and whether or not this is going to be the best strategy over time for these companies to pursue?
Well, I mean, I do think that you now have this ABC, CBS, NBC. It's like now it's a zero sum or dog eat dog. But, okay, so let's think of Netflix versus Disney. Disney has a couple of things going for it. They have theme parks. They have consumer products, which are often forgotten. The money had rotated, I think. When you think about it, the fast money rotated out of Disney into Netflix after that last Disney quarter. So now I think that money comes back. I think the overreaction is to say that they are the same kind of companies. Disney has other things.
Disney has a lot of other things. But that said, that 230 million sub goal that they have for 24, 25, which is out there, people have been questioning it. I wonder whether this raises the idea that the market itself is not perhaps as large as people had anticipated. Netflix having a harder time getting to that 1/3 of the domestically that doesn't own it. Doesn't own it. That doesn't
Netflix
subscribe.
is convoluted. You look at the people who buy Netflix today have to be people who are saying that Reed Hastings is too negative and that there's more to it. Mm-hmm. I think, and they released those movies right at Christmas time. When I was looking at my friend, when you go over, I mean, again, you got some people like Nathanson. Okay, it's just a good piece. Yep. Just saying, listen, we've been saying this. And, what are they saying? Which is that there will come a time when content won't drive subs. And when you have something that's just talked about as Squid Games and it didn't drive subs, I'm going to take my 4, 5, 6 shirt that I have, and I'm going to burn it this weekend.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.